All right, so what I want to cover in this video is what content creation looks like and how we go about sharing that on social media and the benefits of that. If you haven't already seen my kind of overall strategy video, I suggest you view that first. It might kind of give you a better sense of what's going on, but if you don't, it's all good. Either way, I'll leave a link to that in the description so you guys can check that out. So what does content creation look like when you work with me? Well, first of all, your main goals are going to be educating and sharing your brand culture, because I feel that really helps endear yourself and your brand to the people you're trying to serve. And we want to really start asking questions, because that's the only way you're going to educate, because you need to figure out what questions people have been asking, and we also want to figure out what problems you've already been solving in relation to those questions. That'll help you find the sweet spot that we can leverage, and typically, because you always have something about you and your brand that's different than the other brands that you're competing against out there in your industry, in your space. And that's kind of how we figured that out, and we want to double down on that, because that's very, very important. Whatever sets you apart, keeps you unique, that's what we like to do. And then the next thing we kind of go along with this theme right here is we want to develop customer personas, and I don't want to recreate the wheel. I kind of want to work easy here and find the people that you've already been serving, because these people already fit your ideal market, whether you think about it or not. Sometimes when you think of like developing customer personas, at least what happened to me is like I would come up with like this fictitious character that really doesn't exist. And oftentimes it's good to kind of dial it back and start from what you already know. So we want to know their age, their sex, their profession, and their interests. These will come into play later on too, especially when it comes into like targeted social media ads. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So now we want to deliver. We want to create content that answers these questions. And we're going to do that in the form of blogs, social media posting, infographics. There's ebooks. There's a lot of different things that you can do to answer those questions. But guaranteed, the main thing that we're going to focus on, other than just getting your brand culture shared with social media, is we want to develop blog content that's going to answer these deep questions that help people solve problems. Because in the end, we want to be a guide to help them in their journey. And then the other thing, other than just blog content, we also want to think about the pages of your website. How can we leverage those? How can we put real good content on there for them, for people, to like actually chill and hang out there and actually, soak up some information that adds value to them. And then you can almost think of the blog as a way of kind of like adding that little extra information. You can just kind of extrapolate out, give them an extra little rabbit hole to kind of dive down. There's other uses for blogs too. So don't think that it's, I guess don't limit yourself to this, these concepts, I guess. It's good to ask questions. It's good to like kind of think about different ways that you can leverage this stuff. But now let's just kind of hypothetically say, all right, we already got a good block of content out here. We got some good blog posts. We got our web pages kind of, just optimized for what we specialize in and answering those questions that people are asking and just all that. And we're sharing our brand culture, via social media. We're definitely putting you guys out on camera. If you're not on camera already, you will be, especially working with me. I won't work with people that won't be on camera. I've done that enough in the past, and I feel it kind of like, it sells you short if you're not putting yourself on camera. It's too easy these days to do it, so there's no excuses anymore. But let's get off that soapbox. Now, we're gonna amplify. How and why? Well, all this in here really helps with your organic SEO, and that takes time to build up to where your website and the pages of your website, your blogs and whatnot are kind of ranking on the first page of Google. It's good to fan the flames of that message, and we can do that via social media ads and pay-per-click ads. The fun thing about these types of ads versus traditional advertising methods is like it's highly targeted, so you get more bang for your buck, which is very important. And with social media, that's why we want to know their age, sex, profession, and their interests, because you can, without being creepy about it, you can basically kind of like draw upon your pool of customers from here using this information and be able to put your social media ads in front of them where they hang out online. And that's very cool. And then pay-per-click, a little different strategy. This is more research-based, and this kind of goes back to answering questions. And we can kind of tailor ads around putting your website in the search engine results for search queries that people are searching that we feel are relevant. And again, all of that takes experimentation. So when you get down into here and tracking results and experimenting, we want to, I mean, there's all sorts of analytical data out there, and it's just going to become more prevalent with time. You know, on your website, we have resources like Google Analytics, which can help track user journey. There's other things that you can do too as well to kind of like go through your website and see where people are hitting up snags or if they're bouncing off your content. It's very good to like figure out why they aren't actually sticking around. And then with social media too, again, like there's different insights that go along just with your feed in general, and there's different insights that you can gather too from the ads, and all that kind of together allows us to ask those educated questions that kind of help us augment what we're putting out there. But we're not going to make any changes to our strategies without actually looking at the data first. I mean, it's important. I mean, data isn't everything, but I mean, it's definitely important to make an educated guess. So I don't know, I hope this was informative, and I just want you to know I am creating a screen share. If I haven't already, by the time that this video comes out, it will be on my website as well. And that's kind of going to run through my actual first client actually, and kind of run through the strategies that I've been going through and helping them fan the flames of their message, because they had problems gaining leads. I mean, that's a problem a lot of people can resonate with, and they just weren't putting their best foot forward. And that's kind of where I came into play. So without too much more rambling, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. All right, I'm out.